welcome to Anchored Life with Kaale. Today we are going to be talking about self-esteem, some of the common areas that we find troubles with self-esteem and some areas that we can work on fixing them so that hopefully by the end we're going to be encouraged about this, because I think that most women in the world, if not all, have dealt with some self-esteem issues of some sort at some point in their life. So this is something that I think is very important to talk about, so let's get into it. If you guys hear any racket in the background, that is my new house being built, so I apologize for that, but I am going to be doing a new video about the house building process thus far. So if you have any specific questions about building a new home, just let me know in the comments. First, let's talk a little bit about self-esteem. Your self-esteem comes from the inside, but can be impacted by the outside. It comes from knowing your value, but other people treating you with disrespect can make you feel like you don't have any value. Someone with low self-esteem won't have the confidence in themselves and their value to stand up for themselves and set healthy boundaries so that other people will treat them with respect. If you don't have respect for yourself, you're not going to believe that other people should also treat you with respect. We all know the world is full of very unrealistic standards for women, and that can be very damaging to our self-esteem. That's why we need to know the truth about ourselves so that we don't believe the lies that the world tries to tell us. The truth is that you are loved and valued and have worth no matter what anyone says. The truth is that you have something special to bring to the world to impact the people in your sphere of influence that only you can bring in that specific way. The truth is that not everyone has to or will like you, but that there is a tribe of people who are your people. Maybe you haven't found them yet, but there are people out there who are for you. My self-esteem was damaged in elementary school. I'm sure a lot of people have similar experiences, but for me, I remember this one girl in particular. She, at recess one time, said, "Everybody run away from Kaale," and everybody just went with the crowd and ran away from me and left me totally alone. And that kind of just summarized how I felt in elementary school, being picked on and alone. And so I believed a lot of lies about myself, that people didn't want to be my friend or I wasn't a good friend. But then I ended up going to a different high school than everybody else in my class. So I really had a lot more confidence. But then when I would run into people from my elementary school again, all of a sudden it would just feel like I shrunk inside and all of a sudden was back to that little elementary school girl who didn't have any confidence. Those people's presence reminded me of feeling so little and unwanted. And I had to learn to forgive those people. I had to be able to let it go, forgive them, and be able to move on and remember the truth about myself. And the truth is that I am a daughter of the King, dearly beloved. Maybe there's someone in your life that's making you feel small, either by the words that they say to you or the actions that they present towards you. And I want you to stop and think about how they make you feel. Get very specific. We need to dig out these lies that you're believing so that we can get them out for good and replace them with the truth. So you might be thinking, I'm just not good enough. They'll never like me. I'm not cool enough. Or you might be thinking kind of on the other side of the spectrum where you're thinking, I don't need anyone to be happy. I'm better than them anyways. Just trying to make yourself have a little boost of confidence. But the truth is that you are a daughter of the King. You were given a unique set of skills and talents to share with the world that no one else can do like you. And you have a certain perspective, a certain insight into the world and the people that you are surrounded by, that you can help and that you can impact. And you are put there for a reason. I want to discuss 3 areas where we might be having troubles with our self-esteem as women. The first one is in our work. So we've probably all heard the research that men tend to ask for more compensation for mediocre work, while women tend to ask for less compensation for really good work. And that shows a lot about our self-esteem and our confidence as women and what we think that our work deserves. If you're doing really good work, you deserve to be well compensated for it. You need to have that self-confidence and that self-esteem to say, you know what, I did a really great job, and this work that I did has value and it deserves to be treated as such. There's a difference between being giving and being used. So yes, we want to be generous with our time and our money and our resources, but there's a difference between being generous and being a doormat. When I was a brand new nurse, just out of university, it was really hard to have confidence in my work because honestly, I didn't really know much. I just spent 4 years getting my Bachelor of Nursing, but that really doesn't tell you everything that you need to know about nursing. So being in the hospital and just taking it all in, it was really hard to have confidence in myself and my work. I could see all the other nurses who'd been working a very long time had a lot more confidence and they were able to stand up for themselves and their patients. And eventually with time, I was able to be a bit more like that. This one day I remember that my coworker yelled at me and it was very inappropriate. I guess there's not really ever a very appropriate way to yell at your coworkers. Looking back on that, I wish that I would have had more confidence in myself and my abilities to stand up for myself and to not let her treat me that way. Your confidence in your work comes when you know that you're doing a good job. Not doing a good job? Well, then get good at it. Do what it takes to be able to get yourself in a place where you are confident in the quality of work that you're doing, whether it is taking a course or spending more time studying, whatever it is, asking questions. Just make sure that you're doing a good job so that you can have the confidence that you need to be able to look at what you're doing objectively and say, this is good and I stand behind it. So the second thing that I want to talk about in regards to women and our self-esteem is our appearance, and you probably saw that coming. I remember being in grade 7, it was gym class, we were outside playing baseball, and this one girl came over and commented about my hairy legs. And I remember looking at my legs and the thought had just never crossed my mind that I had hairy legs. I looked at everybody else's legs, all the other girls shaved their legs, and I had never even noticed. Honestly, at that point, I think I was still playing with Barbies. And I remember gym class in high school. Always gym class. What is with gym class? Sitting there looking down at my thighs, thinking they were so massive, comparing myself to these tiny little girls who were so petite. But the thing is, that was just comparison. I am not fat. I am quite tall. I'm almost 6 feet tall. So because of that, my proportions are a little larger than someone who's maybe 5 feet tall. But comparing myself to other people made me feel bad about myself, even though I did not have a reason to. Can't we all be beautiful? Why does there have to be one beautiful woman that we all look to and compare ourselves to and think, oh, we'll never be as beautiful as her? Just because one other woman is beautiful, it doesn't take away from your beauty. We should all be celebrating each other's beauty and not comparing those different things about us that make us unique and make us beautiful in our own way. If you've ever given birth, then you'll know that postpartum time is a special kind of whole dealing with your self-esteem kind of time. I remember after I gave birth with my daughter Sophie, just looking in the mirror, everything was all stretched out and baggy and extra weight, and I didn't fit my clothes and I cried. It was hard to see myself that way. And online I see a lot of women who are celebrating their postpartum bodies, or at least trying to, and recognizing that, wow, my body is so amazing. It created this wonderful little human and is supporting this life, and that is so great. And I tried to get on board with that, but I just couldn't. Yes, I am so enamored with Sophie. I think she is so wonderful. That doesn't mean that I can't grieve the changes in my body. I can love my daughter and be glad that I gave birth to her, as well as grieving the fact that my body is different than how it used to be. But just because I have those thoughts, I don't want to get stuck in them. I acknowledge the fact that I'm feeling that way, and then I give them over to God. I want to take every thought captive to Christ so that I am filling my mind with the truth. Yes, we have these feelings and they come and they go, but we don't have to let them rule us. No matter what you're dealing with your self-esteem and your appearance, whatever area that you would like to change about yourself, just remind yourself of this truth. The Creator God made you in His image and said it was good. Let that sink in. The third area that I want to talk about as far as our self-esteem with women is raising the next generation. If you're a mom or you impact some little people's lives, I bet you would say that you want to raise those kids to have confidence in themselves, to know that they have value, and to treat themselves with respect and treat other people with respect. And they learn these things by watching us and how we act and how we treat ourselves and others. I have a baby daughter, Sophie, who woke up from her nap. I can hear her now, so hopefully she's fine, just waiting till I'm done recording here. For sure, what I do want her to know is her own value. Not in a puffed up way that the older generation complains about millennials being so narcissistic and needing a participation medal for every little thing. Not in that way, but just in a way that she knows her value and her worth, and that she knows that God created her with an awesome purpose in mind, and that His plans for her are better than any other plans anyone else has for her. I just want her to know that inside, so she doesn't go along with the crowd's stupid plans and make dumb decisions that are going to derail God's perfect plans for her. But I want her to just step into everything that God designed for her to do, because He has an amazing plan for her life. And the thing is, this is the same for you too. All those things I said about my daughter, I want those things for me too, and I want those things for you as well. I'm conscious of the fact that even though my daughter is a baby, she already watches me and learns from me. So when I am weighing myself or checking my belly in the mirror, she's watching and she's learning. Yes, you want to live in a healthy way and demonstrate just a balanced, healthy lifestyle for your kids, but being obsessed with your weight is dangerous, and it sends the wrong message. Not only to you, that it reinforces what you've been thinking about your worth as a woman being connected to a number on the scale, but also sends that message to your kids that their worth is in how much they weigh. It doesn't matter what you look like, what your family situation is, whether you work, are a stay-at-home mom, study, whatever it is. You are going to have lies go through your head to try and stop you from being all that you were created to be. If you don't believe you are worthy of respect, why would you stand up for yourself when other people are disrespecting you? If you don't believe that you are a wonderful person and have so many beautiful qualities inside and out, why would you even put yourself out there to develop life-giving and transformational relationships? How are you supposed to achieve that high potential that you were created with if you don't believe you have any potential or any impact on the world around you? Your self-esteem is important because it not only affects you, but everybody in your world. You have something unique to share with the people in your world, and your faithful obedience is going to bless so many people if you step out in confidence knowing that you have something wonderful to share with people. And people are going to totally miss out if your self-esteem is so low that you do not have the confidence to even know that you have something of value to share. I did an exercise once when I was at college, and it was a group of my female classmates, and we were sitting in a circle, and we each had to take a turn saying out loud something that we liked about ourselves. And when you actually start doing that, you think, this is kind of awkward, because when you start saying something you like about yourself, it kind of sounds like you're bragging, or at least you feel like you're bragging or something like that, right? But you're not. It is just a great exercise to celebrate those wonderful things about yourself. There is a difference between knowing your value and being conceited, just as there is a difference between being humble and being used as a doormat. So this is my challenge for you. I want you to go look in the mirror and tell yourself something that you like about yourself. Be kind to yourself. So there you have it, 3 areas where women tend to struggle with self-esteem, but where we can stand up and take our self-esteem back and be confident in ourselves as women with value and purpose. Those 3 areas, just to remind you, are our work, our appearance, and in raising the next generation. If this video was helpful to you, please let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear it. And if you have any suggestions for future topics you want me to cover, let me know in the comments. Hit like and subscribe to my channel. I'll be releasing a new video each week, so stay tuned for that. See you soon.